Hello everyone, I'm the Professor Z, and I'm back from vacation. So yeah, sorry for the lateness of this video, but I didn't have much time on vacation to actually get a video out, so this is a little late. A quick note though, the review for chapter 63.2 of the manga is in the works, so hopefully that'll be out at some point soon. But of course, you all didn't come here to hear me talk about that, so let's jump into the review of Made in Abyss Season 2, Episode 3, titled Village of the Naruhide. We start off with Maji guiding Riko, Reigen, and Nanachi through the village, all the while being followed by an ever-growing crowd. Maji then ascends a set of stairs, which of course to Riko and Co means being hit with a curse. However, Nanachi states that the force field doesn't exist within the village, thus it should be safe to move upwards. Looking back at the following crowd, Reig asks if they are Naruhide. Nanachi believes that they are, but they're different from Naruhide that they've experienced so far, mainly because they have retained both their humanity and some semblance of intelligence. Riko brings up what Bonedruid had said about curses and blessings. While Nanachi is unsure if it has anything to do with that, she really hopes that this has nothing to do with any white whistles. The group then enters a strangely shaped building, where a Naruhide is chipping away at Prushka. And though frightened at first, Riko can sense that Prushka is okay with what's happening. Maji then explains that Prushka has not yet reached its true form. Prushka at the moment is still just raw material, and the Naruhide is shaping it into a true white whistle. By undergoing this process, the effects of the white whistle will be greatly strengthened. While the Naruhide works on Prushka, Maji takes the group for a tour of Iruburu. Reig then asks what Maji is exactly, since he differs greatly from the other residents of the village. Maji assures him that he is indeed a Naruhide. However, Maji's physical form is just a shell, while his being is comprised of smells contained within. The group then arrives at a marketplace of value. Value is pretty much the worth of an object to a person, and that worth takes its shape in the form of Iruburu currency. While looking at some old delving gear, Riko comes upon a section of one of Liza's letters. After picking it up in order to examine it thoroughly, the shopkeep begins to freak out and snatches it away from Riko. This is because you mustn't touch things of value without permission. Riko, of course, wishes to purchase the page, and Maji explains that that would be simple. You merely need to change into value. Your eyes, skin, hair, and anything can be changed into value. Children especially hold great value. Maji, with a sinister look, requests that if they wish the barter, to come to him, money manifesting out of thin air. Riko, however, stoutly refusing, stating her plans to go to the bottom of the abyss. Maji then quickly backs down, stating that stealing value is the greatest of crimes. As Riko contemplates on how she can purchase the page, Nanachi mentions that the symbol on the money was the same one on the letter and on the village. The group decides to gather information while shopping in hopes of finding an answer. Despite this, Riko continues to enjoy her adventure. We learn here that the various vendors have things they value and are more likely to trade for. Their bodies composed of these very things. These bodies are no coincidence, however. All the Naruhide here were once delvers, who had given up on their delves and decided to reside within the village. These delvers gave up their freedom, and in exchange gained the safety of the village and a Naruhide body of their desires. Maji then turns to Nanachi, exclaiming that she is different. Unlike them, Nanachi was given her form from the love and protection of another. Of course, he is referring to Midi's sacrifice. While Riko introduces Manya and herself to the Naruhide, Reig is being touched by various Naruhide, Nanachi off to the side, reveling in the fact that Reig is finally getting a taste of his own medicine. A shout from Riko then rings out that catches Nanachi's attention. One of the Naruhide is being a little too rough with Manya, and like a 5-year-old with a hamster, seems to crush Manya. Both Riko and Nanachi rush over to check on it. Luckily, it seems that Manya's squishy biology saved it from any fatal damage. Instead, like one of those squeeze toys, Manya's eyes and innards just need to be popped back in. Maji then asks Riko what Manya's value is, Riko responding that the value is too high to measure. In response to this, a shriek rings out. I have to say, they nailed that sound. It gave me chills the first time I heard it. Good job, sound design team. What follows, though, is far more disturbing. Ma begins to run away, only to be caught by an inky blackness that seeps up from the ground. Tendrils then form and begin to take things away from Ma, until it snatches away a blue plushie that is then reduced to nothing but coin. In response to this, Ma shrieks in despair. This is heavily effective on Nanachi, as it reminds her of Middy's scream in the elevator. Mage goes on to explain how the village can understand the desires of its inhabitants, and can change objects into value, but once it's changed, it's gone forever. Finding that the objects that Ma had did not measure up to the damaged value, it begins to tear Ma's body apart and sell it as recompense. Nanachi brings up how Prishka was stolen. Wouldn't that be a crime within Iraburu? Mage explains that anything that happens outside the village has no bearing on anything that happens within the village. This means that no one from here was responsible for Prishka's kidnapping. The balancing then gifts Riko with the money it collected as compensation for what happened to Manya. Riko isn't thrilled about taking the money, but Mage explains that this currency is bound to her, so she can never truly lose it. Mage tells the group that the value they have received should be enough for both food and bed, and tells them that they should be fine without him now that everyone has seen what just happened, before wandering off. This leaves our group to find lodging on their own, which would prove difficult since they don't speak the Narhede language. However, Riko, harnessing her mad charade skills and with some simple deduction, is able to get her point across to the Narhede, who then lead her to an inn. They are greeted by the innkeeper, who I just think is adorable. Riko asks them for room and food, placing her value on the counter. After paying, the group arrives at their room, which is unique to say the least, and the food is even more so. Despite that, Nanachi and Riko quickly give it a try, and find that it's not as bad as it looks. Reg, on the other hand, is far more skeptical about the food. Riko, however, reassures him that irredeemably bad food like Nanachi's is rare. Damn, Riko, no need to roast Nanachi like that, what the heck. Riko continues to down the food, despite its looks, and quickly regrets it as she's stuck in bed with an upset stomach. Shortly after, Riko is sent barreling towards the bathroom, leaving Reg and Nanachi to go find a remedy for both Riko and Manya. However, they are stopped as a large crowd shuffles by, and a loud bang shakes the town. Reg and Nanachi then come upon Mage within the crowd, and ask what the commotion is. Mage states that Faputa has arrived, a being of absolute value who can go anywhere and never die. Nanachi believes that this could be their guy, and sends Reg out to do some recon, as she stays behind and takes care of Riko and Manya. After Reg leaves, Nanachi gets Mage to help her shop, and also asks him about Faputa, Mage describing her as a princess, the princess of the Narhede. Meanwhile, Reg comes face to face with a large robotic figure, and on his shoulder stands Faputa. We then fade back to the Suicide Corps as they come face to face with 4 large robots, similar to the one Reg is currently facing down. These robots don't seem violent though, instead they're more like observers. The robots then begin to walk away, with the Suicide Corps close behind. As they gaze upon the golden city that they'd worked so hard to get to, one of many large serpents swoops down, snatching up one of the robots. With this, the group has realized how dangerous the golden city really is. And with that, we've reached the end of the episode. And overall, it was a really good one. I love the variety of colors they've used for both the environments and the Narhede. It makes each one feel really unique. The scene with Ma was also about as dark and brutal as it needed to be, if not more so. I also want to note that I love Ma's voice actor. The voice very much reminds me of Kirby, and I just love it. So overall, this was another great episode. But what did you all think? Let me know down in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more going forward. As always though, this has been the Professor Z, back from vacation, and I will see you all next time.